Welcome to the Epic Success Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Shannon Irivne. This episode is specifically for those of you that are close to six figures or at six figures and you're aiming for a seven-figure business. Here's the thing. At this point in time, you know how to actually make an offer and sell. You know how to deliver an offer that creates results. Now, you hear me talk all the time about if you are someone who wants better and bigger results, then let's talk about the neurocoaching certification so that you know how to train the brain of your client to truly release old patterns and create big results. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I am talking to those of you that you're running your six-figure business or almost six-figure business. You have a family at home. You've got kids probably in soccer or sports of some kind. And the reason that you got into your own business to begin with probably first was around releasing freedom and time, right? Putting your notice in at your 9 to 5 and then creating this thing. And you've gotten momentum. Whether you've completely terminated your other employment or not, your business has gotten to the point where it is close to six figures or beyond six figures. But what tends to happen right about now is there is what we call the stagnancy phase. And the stagnancy phase is when you're in the build and you're excited for the one client, you're excited for the second client, you're excited for the third. And then you start bringing on maybe a VA, and now you're responsible for somebody's income, and you grow more, and you need a couple more people, maybe social media, maybe something like this. And in order to grow to the next level that you're aiming for, the seven-figure mark, it's a whole new game. And what I find for most that are at six figures is they felt so good and part of who their natural ability of like hustle, get there, strive, work harder, like do that. That actually works to get you to that point, but it stops working to get you to the next level. And you've heard this great Instagram quote, what got you here won't get you there. I mean, and it's cute on Instagram, but it really hurts a lot when you're in it, when you feel like I've created this and now I'm paying people salaries and I want to make this bigger impact, but you're kind of caught in the middle, feeling a little stuck. You can't go backwards because there's no way you're going to go back to a 9 to 5, but you can't go forwards either. It doesn't seem like it's going as quickly. Things start to break, systems start to break, people don't do what they need to do. And now you find yourself being a manager. Wait, that's not what you signed up for being. You find yourself being a leader. Oh my gosh, I now need to learn how to lead. And the people that I'm leading are not just like me, right? They're people that are complementary to me, but they're not just like me. They think differently than me. They have different emotions than I do. And I'm having to lead that and lead myself. And it can leave a little feeling of overwhelm and feeling a little stuck because you see the seven-figure mark and you have the skill base in sales and delivery to expand. But the expansion doesn't happen from the push anymore. There's a great quote that my friend Christina told me that stuck with me for so long. It's like in the beginning, you're a hunter, like you're going and you're hunting. And you know what? We love us driven people. We love hunting. Like, let's go. Let's do it. Right. But in order to go from 6 to 7, you now need to be a gardener. You need to learn the skills of how do you nurture, how do you move in a way that others own the vision and build the vision alongside of you. It's a whole new skill set. And you've never been there before. So what your brain is doing is it's absolutely freaking out because you are now on a precipice that everything that you've known that has worked in the past no longer works. And it's almost like feels like no man's land a little bit. I did an Instagram quote that went pretty viral that I said, you don't need more strategies. You need to rewire the patterns that are keeping you from executing on what you already know. The second half, the growth from 6 to 7, is 100% a mindset game. The first half, I call it first half, second half. Think about it in football terms. The first half is effort. It's showing up. It's the consistency. The second half, typically speaking, are skills that we didn't learn at all. And we need to learn them, and not just learn them, but manage our mind and build new neural networks to be able to thrive at them. In fact, that's why you can't find me a 7-figure entrepreneur or an 8-figure or 9-figure entrepreneur that doesn't say their mindset. And for my purposes, mindset isn't something that you gain. It's something that you train. In other words, the fastest way to build a 7-figure mindset, the thinking that you need, the skill set that you need, and the capacity, you've got to be able to build the capacity. This is where I spun out for like a year and a half of not gaining the capacity, trying to do more of what I knew to create more results. And it literally kept me in this spin cycle. And so that's what led me to go learn the science, the neuroscience behind achievement, because I had a glass ceiling above me. And so everybody that I speak to that has a glass ceiling, I need you to hear this from the bottom of my heart. Please do not go try another strategy, add another tactic, AI, ManyChat. We start chasing these things that we're hearing 8-figure entrepreneurs saying, but if you cannot lead those, you cannot grow with those. So you don't gain a mindset, you train a mindset. So what do I mean by that? We've got, as 6-figure entrepreneurs headed to 7 figures, we have to have the identity and the capacity to receive it, to become that person. And a lot of times when I hear people online talking about this, it feels very wooey and very soft, where in the brain, to acquire a 7-figure mindset is a training potential. It's like walking into a gym that you want muscles to look a certain way. You can't just sit on a rock and hope and vibrate that identity. That doesn't work in the brain. You actually have to build neural networks so that your brain believes it and therefore draws it to you like a magnet. You know, I hear a lot of like manifestation people saying, just vibrate at that resonancy. Your brain will not vibrate at a resonancy that you do not believe. And so my challenge to you as 6-figure entrepreneurs headed to 7 and feeling a little bit like you're in the spin cycle, like, you're on the edge of something great. You have capacity, but it feels a little bit like you're spinning. That the best thing you can do right now is to go in and train your mind to allow that next level of results. Train your mind to be able to be a leader. Train your mind to achieve at that level so that your brain sees it as safe. Because if your brain doesn't see it as safe, it will work against you. And that's what it's doing right now, is it's giving you all the old things that worked and saying, do that again. And by the way, you get a dopamine hit because it feels familiar and safe, but it's not getting you to that place. So we're not going to gain a mindset. We're going to train a mindset. And that's what we really do inside our world in the program called the 67-day year. Now, we used to do 67-day year kind of for all entrepreneurs, those that were getting started and everything. But right now, we are doing 6-figure only cohorts, those trying to get to 7, for an immersive experience where you come in and you learn how to train your mind to get to 7 figures in a 3-day window. You learn that actual knowledge. And then we work together for a period of 67 days, because what you want to do is create a year's worth of goals in 67 days and get past those brake pedals, right? And get your brain literally being that magnet. So I'm personally working with this cohort of people that really want to get to 7 figures this year. My mission is to make 100 new millionaires this year because you've trained your mind to allow it. And then here's the great news. Everything that you've invested in, everything that you know starts to work because you have become the person that can lead it, that can achieve it, and that has no resistance in your brain keeping you from it. And really, this is how you get the edge. This is how you move to that next level. What got you here won't get you there. And being a smart and savvy business owner, knowing you're going to get to 7 figures, my challenge to you is don't make it take years to learn this lesson. Don't bang your head against that glass ceiling. Learn how to manage and train the biggest superpower you have, which is your mind, to be able to enlarge the capacity of what is safe, to be able to enlarge your capacity to lead, enlarge your capacity to create a movement that you can hold. We can all create sales, but to get to 7 figures, we've got to create a movement that you can hold, that you can embody, that your identity takes over. And all an identity is thoughts and emotions being repeated enough that they become a subconscious belief. That is actually something you can train in. So I want to challenge you. If you are 6 figures, wanting to head to 7, we're opening up a master class soon that's going to break down how to train your mind for 7 figures. And so that you can literally put your foot on the gas and do it this year instead of waiting 5 years or so to get to that 7-figure mark. All right. 100 millionaires this year. So I know this is a little bit of a different episode. I'm curious if I want to hear what lands for you, because I know when I had this epiphany, when I said, oh my gosh, the only thing standing between me and 7 figures is how I think. I was the crazy one that went and got a PhD to try to figure it out. You don't need to do that. You can just borrow all those years and that huge investment from me into the Sync NeuroCoach models that allows you to do 2 main things: build a pathway in your brain to allow that level of leadership and achievement, and then remove any of the blocks from the past that will keep you tethered back to 6 figures. And that's what we do inside the 67-day year immersive experience, only for 6-figure entrepreneurs. So somewhere around this podcast, there'll be a link for you to register. It will be capped for a certain amount of people. And you can come learn all about the models and how to do this in this event. And then those of you who really want to go to the next level, you can apply to work with me directly in that cohort. But here's what I want to leave you with. You are the creator of your thoughts, and it is your thoughts that creates a 7-figure business. It's time to start training. All right, that's what I have for you this week on the Epic Success Podcast. Until next week, bye for now.